accidents every day. Yesterday, 3 high school students killed on the road.
The day before, that awful factory accident.
I get jittery worrying about my own family.
Who doesn't? And most accidents are due to carelessness. Funny thing, doctors seem to be able to get sickness and epidemics under control. But no one is able to stop accidents.
Yes, the city has a mighty tough job ahead if it wants to teach people to be more careful. People take too many chances. They just don't think.
Yes, too many people do take chances without thinking. To combat this, federal, state, city, and lay organizations have joined to educate people toward carefulness, to cut down the enormous number of accidents due in the main to downright carelessness. Today, at every turn, the public is warned of ever-present danger. These constant reminders are doing a splendid job at urging all of us to alert. Unfortunately, there are too many people who forget too easily, and many individuals who take reckless chances at the expense of more cautious citizens. The result, an accident rate so great that officials are being forced to ask for more drastic laws to curb criminal carelessness. To the public health official, the comparison of accident figures is strikingly revealing. While the battle against disease and epidemic gradually is being won, in contrast, the accident toll charts an undiminishing grim line of needless death. In 1 year in the United States, 10,500 people died from influenza. Meningitis claimed 1,700 lives. Poliomyelitis accounted for 1,200 deaths. The year's heavy toll of tuberculosis took 53,000 lives. Deaths from other communicable diseases totaled 27,000. But accidents in a single year claimed 100,000 lives, far exceeding the death toll of all communicable diseases combined. The death figures are small compared to the whole story. What would you do if you faced this situation? This is a time to be calm and deliberate. Yet seconds may count now, may mean the difference between life and death. How can he stop her bleeding? What should he do first? Should he be pulled to the roadside? Wanting to help, but terrified because he does not know what to do. Would you know? With your knowledge, would you really risk dealing with this situation? Will they die because of his failure? What if she has a broken leg? If only someone were here who knew first aid to help until a doctor comes. If. Lives depend on that if. How many people face life unprepared for emergency, depending on others' aid, chancing someone always will show up to handle their difficulties, someone else. Fortunately, there are people who, appreciating their duty to others, manage to prepare themselves with the know-how to meet ordinary emergencies, a true responsibility of good citizenship that none too many of us think about.
Chance saved her life. Good fortune in the form of a person who knew first aid, knew what to do, controlled the hemorrhage before the ambulance reached the scene, saved her from bleeding to death. Most people believe they know what to do in case of an accident. Our observation is that unless they are first aid trained, they do not know. Except for ambulance-attended cases, of 50 patients brought in here with fractures, perhaps boxes come in smeared with grease, butter, lard, and this often leads to infection. People try to help in an emergency. They mean well, but untrained people just don't do the right thing. Yet, a little real knowledge of first aid, gained so easily by attending a free instruction class, would help to save many families much misery.
Today and every working day, at Red Cross classes throughout the country, serious-minded men and women, young and old, are gaining priceless knowledge of first aid to cope with most emergency situations. If we expect others to help us or our families in time of crisis, we too should be qualified to help them. It is laudable to learn first aid so that we can help others, and it is elementary common sense to know first aid for our own family protection. And you'll be surprised at how much there is to learn. You won't learn diagnosis at a first aid class, but you will learn to check where principal injuries are and how to protect those parts. Advances in medicine have changed many old customs. You will learn of the changes. This Red Cross training will fit you to give proper first aid using safest methods recommended by eminent doctors. As you learn more about lacerations, broken bones, shock, burns, you will become more safety-minded. You will guard against needless accidents. And being on guard prevents many accidents. Industry has its accident problems. Safety experts are working constantly to eliminate unnecessary hazards and to fight carelessness. Vigilance is the rule among employees. Yet, despite precautions, there were 2 million accidents in industry last year. The cost, 46 million workdays. Economic loss, $2 billion. A major factor in cutting down the accident rate in many plants is the introduction of Red Cross first aid classes. There is no guesswork in evaluating first aid instruction in industry. The records of plants, large and small, tell the same story. First aid trained people have fewer accidents. Practical knowledge of what to do before the doctor comes saves many lives each day. Proper first aid practice helps minimize injuries. In developing safety-mindedness, it tends to prevent them. First aid classes are logically a part of good safety campaigns. Industrial organizations, large and small, echo their approval. High on the list of accident breeding places is the farm. That supposedly peaceful life we read about is actually fraught with daily danger. Farm families have more accidents than any other occupational group. With doctors and hospitals many miles distant, with immediate care and long transportation often necessary, farmers need first aid education much more than most people. Agricultural organizations now urge that at least 2 persons on each farm qualify in first aid. Farmers have responsibility for their families and their hired help, too. Among children of all age groups, accidents lead as a cause of death. Educators are presenting courses in safety and first aid to impress students with the hazards of carelessness. It is hard to teach children to be careful. They're full of life and sometimes reckless when at play. School training cannot promote safety without reminders from home, too. Constant hints that children should be smart enough to avoid accidents. Add one more to the thousands on thousands of home accidents happening each day. Home, you'll be surprised to learn, is one of the greatest danger zones of all. An accident in your home affects a loved one. Here, your ability to give prompt first aid is of precious value. Are you prepared? But where knowledge of first aid is of the greatest importance is on our nation's roaring highways. As each day sees steadily increasing traffic, each day's accident menace grows greater. Think of it, accident fatalities far beyond the death toll of our last two wars combined. Familiar scene, Junior borrowing the family car, Dad and Mother cautioning, now drive slowly, take it easy. If these parents only knew, more effective than warnings for youngsters, actual Red Cross first aid instruction and studying about critical injuries punches home the necessity of being more safety-minded. The open road and a fine day. Warning? Just another sign. Better go slower, Junior. Remember those newspaper headlines? Ah, that's other people. Poor drivers. Not Junior. He can outdrive anyone on the road. Luckily, most drivers are courteous and careful. Good drivers usually are. But Junior, what about other innocent people you jeopardize? Let them worry. Ice going, fine car, sleek, smooth as a jet plane. See, Junior can pass any car on the road, and with power to spare. Junior, as a driver, you think you're tops. But there are other drivers who think they're tops. Accidents can happen anywhere, anytime, to anyone. When old people die, it is sad. But when youngsters are crippled, youth, promise, and achievement unrealized, it is even more tragic. It takes more than sympathy to help injured persons. It may be some time before a doctor can be procured, and these youngsters need help urgently. It is here that Red Cross training pays big dividends. For it is only first aid trained men and women who know what help safely can be given before the doctor arrives. Men and women who have taken this training because of their feeling of obligation to their families and to their fellow men. Red Cross has prepared many of your neighbors for emergency, to aid the injured during those long, anxious minutes before professional help can reach them, to help someone's loved one in pain. Who knows? Perhaps someday, someone in your family. Such help is heartening, but the record is frightening. 10 million accidents a year in our homes and industry, on our farms and on our highways, at work and at play. Accidents to our neighbors, accidents in our own family. Every passing hour, 1,100 more people being injured, in need of quick aid, trained aid. This is the nation's problem. It is the responsibility of every community leader, and it is your problem and mine. Red Cross classes are ready to give you the know-how to meet emergencies. Everyone should share the responsibility of knowing what to do so that proper help for the injured always will be quickly available. Sometime, somewhere, with the nearest doctor miles away, another person's life will be in your hands. You should be prepared for that critical moment. Remember, every day, everywhere, danger is your companion.
Hi, everybody. I'm Skip Elsheimer. Welcome to our lunchtime streaming event. That last film was Danger Is Your Companion. It's a great film, and unfortunately, it is no longer with us. The film was shrinking even when I digitized that like 10 years ago, and now it's gotten to the point where it can't be played. It's so brittle. So, alas. But it's such a great film. It's all ratcheted up, and it's a call for learning first aid and taking first aid courses through the Red Cross, and reminds you that you're always on the verge of having an accident, which I love films like that. So I collect old 16mm films and show them to folks like you, and I've been doing this for, 13 weeks? This next film is, I believe this is a cornet, and this is about social courtesy. So how to be courteous, and I think it's aimed at high school, junior high. Enjoy.
Hard times party at that. What makes you think I'd like to bring Carol? Oh, Carol's all right. I don't have any fun at parties. Kids just aren't friendly.
Oh, Bill, that might be your fault.
I doubt it.
Maybe it's just that you don't know how to use social courtesy.
Social what?
Social courtesy, Bill.
Oh, that's old-fashioned.
What's old-fashioned about having fun at parties?
What's having fun at parties got to do with social courtesy?
If you give me a chance, I'll show you.
Go ahead.
All right. First, let's get you to Carol's house to call for her.
What? Well, okay.
Now, go ahead and ring the doorbell. I'll stick around and help you out.
Wow. Hey, look, what's so special about this? I don't have to be courteous just to call for my date, do I?
Hi, Bill. What a costume. I'm nearly ready. Do you want to come in for a minute?
Nearly, huh? I'll wait out here. Don't take all night.
Hold it. Let's take a picture of this situation. Now, look at that, Bill. Here Carol was trying to be friendly. And you said people aren't friendly. No, Bill, you discourage others when they want to be friendly. You'd better back up and start all over again. I don't think Carol's going to want to go out with you again unless you...
Huh?
Did I touch a sore spot, Bill? Well, maybe you'd better try to be more friendly this time.
Hi, Bill. Oh, that's quite a costume. I'm nearly ready. Do you want to come in for a minute?
Thanks, Carol. But I guess I'll wait out here, if you don't mind.
Well, all right. I won't be long.
How am I doing?
Better. But you might have gone inside if she asked.
Oh, I wanted to check with you. Hey, say, wait a minute. Is this social courtesy, what I've been doing?
It's part of social courtesy. Just simple friendliness.
Here I am.
Let me help.
Thank you. Should we go? This will be a lot of fun tonight. It's all planned. Well, and you go on and enjoy the party. Come on here, Carol.
All right, Bill, you're at the party. Now let's see you try some more social courtesy. I'll be right here to help you.
Thanks. Oh, cut it out. For Pete's sake, the way you go.
But hello, Bill. How are you?
Okay, I guess.
Bill, aren't you going to learn? You're being very rude to Martha's mother. She thinks you're very impolite. Look at you sprawled out in that chair. You're supposed to rise when an adult speaks to you. Everybody knows that. Now, let's back up and try it again and see if you can be polite. Oh, come on, Bill. Sit up. That's a chair, not a bed. That's better. Watch it now. Here she comes.
Well, hello, Bill. How are you?
Fine, thanks. I didn't expect to see you in costume. That's pretty clever.
Well, thank you. You did pretty well yourself.
Well, thanks. You like it?
I certainly do. There's Ellen. I want to see her. Have fun.
Well, now, wasn't that better? Look at the effect of a little politeness. You've had a very pleasant talk with Martha's mother.
Oh, she seemed friendlier than usual.
That's because you were friendly and courteous. Now, look over to your left. Martha's introducing a stranger to the group. She'll be here soon. Suppose you had to make the introductions. How would you do it?
Me? Oh, well, I'm not going to. That's Martha's job.
Well, we can fix that up pretty easily. All it takes is a little switch. And now you have to do the introducing.
Martha, Hank.
Hold it, Bill. Not so good. Let's go back to the beginning and let Martha show you how.
Bill, I'd like to meet Hank Ratner. This is Bill Brent.
Hi. I'm glad to know you.
Hank is the fellow who won the city math contest last week. Except for that, he's normal.
Say, you could help me with my algebra, couldn't you?
Well, I could try.
Well, not now. This is a party, remember? Besides, I want you to meet my mother.
All right.
Goodbye, Bill.
See you later, Bill. Yeah, sure thing, Hank.
You see, a good introduction makes meeting people simpler and more pleasant.
Sure, you're right. But there's so much to learn how to do.
Sure, there's a lot to learn, but it's worth it. And learning is easy. One way is by watching others.
Oh. Oh, here comes Carol. About time, too. How long does it take to take your coat off?
Easy, Bill. Is it going to help any if you complain?
No.
All right. Be friendly, thoughtful. Join in the fun. You'll get along. I'll see you at refreshment time.
Huh?
Hi, Bill.
Oh, hi, Carol. Oh, come on, let's join the gang.
Swell. How about a Virginia Rio?
Let's clean up. Let's go.
Bill, how are you getting along?
All right.
How about some refreshments? Aren't you hungry?
It's a good idea.
You could get some for Carol, too.
That is a good idea.
Are you talking to yourself?
Oh, no, I was just thinking. I'll get you some food.
Why, thank you, Bill. Oh, dear.
I'm sorry, Joan.
Oh, it's all my fault. I didn't watch where I was going.
You didn't watch where you were going. Here, I'll get you some more.
Oh, you don't have to, Bill.
It's all right. Here. You want some
No. Thank you.
It's all right.
Now you're getting the idea, Bill. Be friendly. Be thoughtful. What do you think of social courtesy now?
I guess it makes being with people a lot more enjoyable for me.
And more enjoyable for them, too. You've made a good impression on people here. Listen.
who used to be so rude?
Why, yes.
You hear that? She says you're not as rude as you used to be.
What do you know?
And look at Carol.
Why, he's actually nice now. I'm glad I came with him. Really.
Those few changes made a big difference, didn't they?
Yes, social courtesy does make a difference. And it's easy to learn. You can learn by watching others. And you can even get a book on courtesy from the library.
I might at that. Sorry I took so long. I had an accident.
Thank you. Phil, I'm having some of the kids over to my house next Saturday night. I'd like to have you come, too.
Oh, I don't... Sure. Sure, I'd like to come.
Good.
Thanks for asking me. Social courtesy does pay, doesn't it? Thanks.
Everybody's like, what? Why is everybody wearing torn shirts? What's with all the signs? It's a hobo party. I only had to watch the film 3 or 4 times to figure that out. They're having a party and it's themed on being dressed like a hobo, and then they put up signs that made it look like it was a train station or a bum rest. Very, very, very odd. And also square dancing, and I have lots of films about square dancing, and lots of kids square danced. You know, of course, rock and roll changed all that. I just want to say thank you to everybody who contributed coffee. This is my French press, built-in French press coffee cup. And so thank you for buying coffee. There's a link right here if you would like to contribute to the over-caffeination of Skip Elsheimer and AV Geeks. This next film is part of the series. Oh, actually, no, let's jump ahead. Let's go ahead and do this. This is part of a series. This was something that was shown to kind of boost morale and also to impart important information to soldiers during World War II. It is Private Snafu, which stands for, Snafu is situation normal, all fouled up. And it's, they would show this as part of this monthly kind of screen where they would have information, they would have like shorts, they would have things that they would show to soldiers. And this was made by a lot of the people, the key people that work for Warner Brothers. And what's great is there's actually some gags that kind of carry over. And so this is actually 2 Private Snafu cartoons that I bought on eBay years ago. The Home Front, which was a big deal. It's people at home that are not fighting, but are doing what they can to support the war effort at home. And then Booby Traps, a great thing that, again, has some, you'll go like, wait a minute, I remember that joke in Bugs Bunny cartoon or a Daffy Duck cartoon. So here's Private Snafu.
Cold? It's so cold it would freeze the nuts off a Jeep. We're sailing tonight on the old campground. Give us a song to cheer our weary hearts, a song of home. There's no place like home. There's no place like home. Be it ever so humble, there's no place like
got it soft back there. They don't even know there's a war going on. Back in my hometown, take my old man. He's probably down at Kelly's. And more. I know what she's doing every afternoon. All afternoon.
No, I haven't, but I'm dying. I heard all about it. I'll introduce
you. And Grandpa, he never did a day's work in his life. My gal Sally Lou. She's probably out with some other guy at this identical moment.
Oh, my darling. What big eyes you have.
Jeez, they're loafing, playing, while I freeze up here. I wish I could see them. I'd tell them a thing or two.
Technical Ferry, voice class, at your service. Okay, Snafu. Maybe you got something there. Brass monkeys, but it's cold. Now let's take a look at the lazy-wazy home folks. Suppose we look at your old man first. Let's see how your ma is making out.
Hi-yo, Silver! Manure!
Coming, Mother! This stuff sure makes things grow, don't it?
And that grandpa of yours.
Yeah, they thought I was too old for this job. But don't bother me a bit. Shut them up and deliver me!
Sally Lou has joined the wax.
We're working like hell in the old hometown.
They're working in the old hometown.
Working in the old home.
Town.
Gosh, I didn't know you cared. Woo-woo.
The enemy has fled, abandoning the area. As our forces move up, they must exercise great care. Every object is a possible booby trap. Some booby traps are more alluring and ingenious than others. If you are a boob, you will be trapped.
Wish the hell you'd shut up. I ain't no boob and I won't be trapped. I wonder, could this be one of them there booby traps? Could be. get that last note anywho? Boy! Tobacco! You know, I ain't had a good smoke in years. Hiya, Toots. What cooks? Something new has been added. Booby traps. Safe at last. Well, at least up here, I don't have to worry about no booby traps.
So that gag with the musical note shows up. There's a Bugs Bunny and a Daffy Duck cartoon. And then there's a Roadrunner Coyote cartoon. And I guess I don't know the story behind the song. I have to look it up and see. Or maybe one of you with Google can figure it out. Like, why was that a thing? Is it something that it was... Because a lot of what I'm discovering is a lot of Warner Brothers cartoons comedy bits are actually from radio. And so there were definitely some radio-related things on there. Like Something New has been added, The Coming Mother, all of those are from radio shows. So maybe this is part of that. I don't know what it is, but there you go. I love me some Private Snafu. Slowly trying to collect more of them, but they're getting harder and harder to find because obviously they were made in the 40s, maybe even the 50s too, but or like reprinted in the 50s. But really amazing things, and they get it. They're giving the soldiers, the GIs, something. You know, the whole "I wish you would shut the hell up," and you know all the sight gags with women and stuff. So it's pretty funny. This next film is made by Your Gas Company. It features our good friend Sally Gasco, who is challenged to create a meal in 20 minutes. So let's see if she can do it.
Did you ever have to make a meal in 20 minutes, literally from the time you entered the kitchen until the meal was ready to serve? Well, Sally Gasco did once, when the schedule for a before-supper football game and an after-supper movie got a little confused. She wasn't in too much of a hurry, though, and you should never be, thoroughly before starting to the meal. Because Sally is rapidly learning homemaking, she knows most of the basic techniques of good kitchen behavior and knows how to use the tools of the craft. But to get a meal in a hurry, something more is required. In this case, a little intelligent pre-preparation. In a convenient corner of the Gasco kitchen is an emergency shelf of canned and packaged goods appropriate to a quick meal. Here's where Mother also tucks away a spare collection of cleansers. The foods include canned soup, cooked meats, stews, any good packaged food which will keep indefinitely. Sally decides upon corned beef hash and hot date pudding for dessert. Other ingredients for the meal, corn on the cob and green peas, will come from the frozen food storage compartment of the refrigerator. The Gascos keep this shelf full of the modern frozen foods, which are not only useful in general, but especially so for quick meals. The basic meal, the hash, corn, peas, with a little cheese to spark up the flavor of the hash, are spread out on the work shelf along with the utensils she will need. Time to go to work. High time even. 3 minutes suffice to get all the packages open and the contents out in pans and cooking. Another convenient thing to remember in this quick cookery is that vegetables are best to eat and best for you if they are cooked a minimum length of time. In the case of frozen vegetables, the time is even shorter. The pudding goes into the oven, where it will warm slightly while they are eating the main course. Sally will serve it with cream. There's no time for fancy sauces. How's the time going? Well, fast, but not too fast. It's time to serve, and Sally is going to be able to keep that 6 o'clock deadline. Mostly, to be honest, because of intelligent marketing, rather than any great show of speed right now. While she's serving, we might remember, as she's doing, how it's possible to cook a meal quickly. Knowing how to handle the equipment involved in cooking, to use the utensils deftly, and to use them for the purpose for which they were designed, is a matter of practice and a question of technique. When the need of the moment is for fast, efficient cooking, a modern gas range can be the most important piece of equipment in the kitchen. "6 o'clock, and there we are. It's possible to make a meal in 20 minutes if, first, you're well grounded in good kitchen techniques and have the right tools with which to work at the time. And second, if you're foresighted enough to purchase and keep in a special emergency shelf in your cupboard and the storage shelf of your refrigerator, a good supply of those modern foods which have taken most of the terrors out of cooking against a deadline.
Oh, Sally Gasco, you did it again. That was probably shown in Homex. It was maybe shown on television or shown at your local gas company with or ladies groups. Yeah, it's a great film. Okay, this next one is a part of a series of that was shown on PBS in the early 70s. It was called Inside Out, and I have shown many films from this over the last couple of weeks. And they're great because they capture that time when I was a kid, like that 70s, early 70s feel. And it also, they're open-ended. Many of them are open-ended, and they present something, but they don't give you a neat finish. They don't have a narrator over top that tells you how it's going to be or how it should be. And this is where then a teacher will then facilitate a discussion about it, and you can talk about it and let people kind of kids air their thoughts about it and process it. And that's definitely the style of teaching at that time, was to, you present something and then you let the kids process it, and the teacher might guide you towards certain themes. And so adults usually don't like this, but this is can do, can't do.
job. Here. Then you tuck your head under and go. See? It's easy. But I can't do them.
Hey, what are you guys doing?
Practicing our backward somersault. She can't do it very well.
Oh, it's easy. Here, I'll show her. Okay, now, get on your feet. Okay, and get your arms up. Come on, you can do it, and go back real fast.
Oh, I did it!
Hey, let's try it again. That was good. Okay, your arms up, and you roll back.
Oh, it's so much fun!
That was good. Here, I'll show you some other things I can do. Okay, there's a handstand.
Gosh, you're good, Bernie. Isn't she, Daddy? Gosh, that's good, Bernie.
Thanks, but it takes practice.
Come on, let's go upstairs. Don't you want to watch her? No, we'll never be able to do those things. You're just a big old show-off, Bernie. Come on.
What did I do? What did I say this time?
Why don't you want to practice anymore? I just don't feel like it, that's all. But I thought you'd help me tumble backwards. You'll never learn. Besides, I don't feel like it. Well, all right for you. What do you want to do now? Nothing. What are you so mad about? I'm not mad. I just don't feel like doing anything, that's all. Is that your brother playing the piano? Who else? He's good. Come on, let's listen to him.
Thanks. Say, do you know how to play the piano?
No, but I wish I could.
Come over here and sit down. I'll show you how to play something. It's real simple once you know how. This is a piece called Chopsticks. It's real easy. Listen for the first time. Sound easy enough?
Yeah.
Okay, put your first two fingers on these two keys right here. Play it 6 times. Move this finger down one. Keep that one there.
Are you teaching her that silly piece?
Yes, I am. She doesn't know how to play the piano.
Well, I do.
I'll bet you do.
Well, I can.
Well, come on over here and play it for us then.
I don't want to.
But you don't know how, I bet.
Yes, I do. But it is a pretty piece, Daddy. Some pretty piece. It is. I don't like it. I think it's dumb. Then why are you just standing there? Well, I still think it's a dumb piece.
You two have it out. I've got some studying to do.
That way. Oh, knock it off, Daddy. Come here and sit by me and we can play together. Well, I guess it's about time I went home. Where's my coat? Over there. Bye, Daddy. Bye.
Bread, please, Maury.
Butter?
Thank you, dear. This roast is delicious, dear.
Thanks. Polly, how about a little bit more pudding? Daddy's had enough milk for a while.
Come on, a little bit. Gee, she's sloppy.
But she's just a baby. Dottie, don't put that big piece of meat in your mouth. Cut it up. Talk sloppy.
Oh, you be quiet.
Can't we have one meal around here without you two arguing?
He's always starting something.
Look at her, will you? She's really something. Maybe she'll be a drummer when she grows up.
She's cute, all right, and smart, too.
Dottie, that piece of meat is still too large. Cut it smaller.
I wish I could eat baby food. Then I wouldn't have to cut anything up. How can anyone enjoy their food?
Dottie, how many times have I told you not to talk with your mouth full? And wipe your mouth.
I wish I were a baby. All you have to do is sit there and let someone feed you.
Honey, would you like me to take Pauline in with me?
No, you just go on in and relax.
Okay.
Okay, baby. Come on. There we go. Dottie, it's your turn to scrape the dishes tonight, and the other two will watch when you're done, all right? Is it all right if we watch TV while Dottie scrapes the dishes? Sure, you can do that.
Isn't she, Daddy? I sure wish I could play the piano like that. Look at her, will you? She's really something. I wish I were a baby, so I could play all the time. Or I wish I could tumble like Bernie, or play the piano like Murray. I can't do any of the good stuff. What are you crying about? I know. You want to be Pauline, or Murray, or Bernie. So would I. Yes, but how did you know? I have ways of knowing. Who are you, and why do you look so funny? I am you. You call me, me, and no one can see me but you. I don't look funny unless you look funny. I look just like you do. Yes, you do. Only I can see through you. I think it's the other way around. I can see through you. I know more about you than you think I do. But how? Never mind. Anyhow, I'm here to help you. Since you want to be Pauline, or Maury, or Bernie, I'm going to help you be them. How are you going to do that? All you have to do is close your eyes and think real hard that you are them. Is that all? I don't believe you. Try it. You will. But before you do, you have to be sure that you want to be someone else. Don't let me influence you. Good. Now close your eyes. That's right. The room will begin to whirl, but don't be frightened. It will soon stop.
Take a little bit more. That's a good girl. My goodness, you were hungry. A little bit more. Oh, my goodness, you're so hungry today. Ah, that's a good girl. Ah, nice. Oh, just a minute. Mommy's got to get the roast out of the oven. Ooh, that looks good. Ah.
Oh, boy, roast beef.
Get salt. Hot. My darling, you can't eat roast beef. You don't even have any teeth yet. Nice baby food for you.
Ew, that tastes awful.
Are you through? How about some vanilla pudding? That's it. Mommy gets some nice vanilla pudding for you.
Hey, me! Me, get me out of this chair! You know how to get out of it. That's right, I do. I don't want to be a baby anymore. Babies can't do much for themselves. But think of all the attention you get as a baby. It's not worth it. Yes, it is fun to be older and to be able to do things you were never able to do before. Hey, I can't stop. Me, stop me. Do you really want to stop? If you do, you may never be good at it. How many times do I have to tell you that only you can stop yourself? I'm trying, but I can't. You're not trying hard enough. Yes, I am, but nothing happens. Perhaps it's because you wanted to be Bernie more than anyone else. Keep trying. Try. There's nothing to it. I always wanted to play like that.
Hey, Maury, you in there? Hey, Maury, come on out here. Come on, Maury, let's go. Hey, Maury, you in there? Hey, Maury, come on. Hey, Maury, can you hear us? Come on, Maury, outside. Let's go.
Hey, Maury, get back to the piano. You have a whole hour yet to practice. Maury, come on, you're not concentrating. That's pretty good, but watch that fingering. I can tell you're not concentrating. Maury, come on, you've got a whole hour yet to practice. Hey, Maury, what are you doing in there? Hey, I don't hear any music yet. Come on now, start practicing.
Stop. I don't want to be Murray or Bernie. I want to be me. I just want to be me. Everything's the same. Or is it? I still can't run as fast as you. Well, you still have to keep trying. I can't do anything. I wish I could play the piano like Maury or be Bernie. Are you sure?
Inside Out is a series of programs and related materials developed and supported by 32 educational agencies in the United States and Canada, with additional support from Exxon Corporation. This program was produced by WVIZ-TV, Cleveland, Ohio, under the supervision of NIT, National Instructional Television.
I like when a film uses a dream/nightmare to get its point across. I have a couple of those. Soapy the Germ Fighter, of course. And then there's another one that's kind of like a weird doppelganger where it's a girl who is trying to mimic other behavior and it turns into a nightmare. And you could argue that Parents Who Needs Them is a dream, but maybe not. Actually, I think it's just an evil puppet. So thank you, Have a Ham, on YouTube for the coffee. It will start my heart in following morning. Thank you so much. Let's see, this next film. So an update on my Chairman Mao watch is it's not a very good timepiece. It's very novel in that Chairman Mao is waving at you, but it loses the wind very quickly. So I don't think I can rely on it to tell me the time. So not a good timepiece. Now this next film is an excellent timepiece and features a celebrity you might know. Here we go. Timepiece.
Help.
So if you didn't guess, that was Jim Henson. It's all in the credits. And you get to see Frank Oz's real name before he shortened it. Phenomenal work. And if you look at Jim Henson's early career before he was doing the Muppets on Sesame Street and the Muppet Show, which are great in their own right, he's an interesting guy. He did some really fascinating stuff. Very adult stuff too, and maybe if you're good and this pandemic keeps chugging along, I will show you the hour-long Jim Henson play that was done for television. I have a copy of it on 16, and it's absurdist. I mean, it's absurdist in the play sense, like Ionesco, and funny, but also nightmarish at the same time. Thanks everybody for tuning in, and thank you again for buying me coffee. It's a great way to spend $5 or more to caffeinate me, to make sure that I'm awake. I get up in time, take a shower, shave, present new films to you. Also, if you're on YouTube, please like or subscribe. Likewise, Facebook, there's some sort of version of that, I'm sure. Patreon is another way to contribute to the AV Geeks cause. And also our website, avgeeks.com. We have thousands and thousands of films online from our collection and other people's collections that we help digitize. That's one of the things that we do, is we are actively working with other collectors and archives to try to get their materials online as well. Because these films are locked away on a format that a lot of people don't know how to get access to or how to play back. And so let's put it in front of some new eyeballs and get people talking about it and remembering it, and we can make interesting discoveries and have a lot of fun with it. Thank you for tuning in, because that helps justify the fact that what I'm doing is not just something that I like to do, that other people are interested in it and they support it. I certainly would keep doing this in spite of if anybody else was interested. But the fact that you are interested and you do tune in every day means a great deal. So thank you so much for that. So we'll be back tomorrow, 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Everybody have a good rest of the day, and I will see you tomorrow. Take care.